Why do we have them so high? Well, I could tell you they went in free agency and they put belt to ass. They said, Mike Vrabel came in and said, we're going to go get Harold Landry, my guy that was there at the Titans. Then we're going to go get who I think is one of the better middle linebackers in the league that obviously one team didn't appreciate enough to bring that dude back after having 100+ tackles, and Robert Spillane. Carlton Davis signs. Milton Williams signs with them. Morgan Moses comes over, signs. Josh Dobbs comes in as a backup role, obviously. The Pastronaut is there. Austin Hooper re-signs with them on a 1-year deal. Stephon Diggs, look, he might do some dumb stuff within the off season, but one thing I can say, when he shows up, he shows up. It is what it is. He causes no issues on the field, which is great. He's coming off an ACL tear. He's going to want to tear up the league and help out his young quarterback. Garrett Bradbury, a lot of people have been speculative on him. This is a name that obviously that I've seen a lot throughout the years, and I had the prediction when he went to the Raiders last year that he was probably going to ball out in a different situation. He ended up doing that and earning himself a 1-year deal up to $5 million, and K'Lavon Chaisson coming out there as a defensive end. And then you have Mac Hollins who comes over, which I think is a great ad. Marcus Epps, Christian Ellis, Jack Jones, Kevin Byard, and Nick Folk. When you start reading these names, they were like, some of these guys were superstars in their past. The Kevin Byard one is such like a feel-good thing, just like the Harold Landry move, right? They're going back to their old coach. And then obviously we can't talk about all the pickups without talking about their draft. Look, Will Campbell coming out there in the first round, Trevion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson is like, I get to stay healthy, who I think is underrated when he is healthy. Kyle Williams, the jury's still out about him. I think
not even that. Like, another underrated running back they have is Antonio Gibson.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head, good sir.
You have him, Trevion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson. Like, if these guys have a good O-line, they're going to take so much pressure off of Drake Maye.
Yeah, for sure. Jared Wilson coming over from Georgia. Craig Woodson, safety from California. Joshua Farmer, who I think should have been chosen lower. I'm a Florida State fan. Braden Swimson is who I thought was the underrated pick for them in the 5th round. They get him out of LSU. Andres Borregales from Miami, the all-star kicker down there. Marcus Bryant from Missouri, the tackle. Julian Ashby, long snapper from Vanderbilt. And Mr. Irrelevant. And we cried real tears when this happened. When they said Kobe Minor. Yo.
Don't mind me.
We thought it was going to be Kobe Bryant, bro. They had one job.
And if the Patriots got Kobe Bryant, bro, oh my God.
There was 2 moves that should have happened in this draft. And it should have been Ted Johnson go to the Broncos, and Kobe Bryant being Mr. Irrelevant would have been awesome.
That would have been amazing, bro.
Except now he's undrafted.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's crazy. They killed this, man. After having a 4-13 season, obviously you look at all the pieces that they have there right now, and you can't help but to think, can Drake Maye get it done? I think he had a less than ideal season than what people actually gave him credit for. I think he probably should have sat a little bit longer. But hey, nonetheless, he did sit for a little bit, came in, had some really up and down moments. I think people are over-exaggerating his performances last year. I don't think he was one of the better rookies last year. I don't even think he was better than Michael Penix Jr. in the little bit that we got to see him.
Got to see Michael Penix, yeah.
But that, to me, that's the main reason why I have them,
so high.
I think the rest of their team is why I have them so high versus Drake Maye being there, to be honest. But 9-8, hell of an improvement.
9-8 isn't bad, especially, as we mentioned, 4-13. And again, it's very much the same with what we were saying with Aaron Glenn. You're looking at you look at year 1 of brand new head coach. We still don't know what Drake Maye looks like. But all these like defensive additions, especially some of them, like we mentioned, going back to being under Mike Vrabel. It's just you're bringing them back to when they were in their prime, and they're still good defensive players. You beefed up that offensive line. You got Morgan Moses, a veteran right tackle. You got the best offensive lineman in the draft, who's already pretty much shown that he's ready to. Obviously, we'll have to see it with play. Words can only take you so far, but it's already shown like he is ready to fight in the trenches for his quarterback. Like, it's going to be a challenge to put hands on his quarterback. Stephon Diggs, you got him more weapons. I would like to see a bit more receiver help, but I mean, Stephon Diggs, Mac Hollins, very underrated. Jalen Polk, you got up there. Javon Baker, you got up there.
I want to see Javon Baker have a bigger role this year. I really do.
Kayshon Boutte, Kendrick Bourne, you got those guys. The tight end room, we talked about Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper. Let's also not forget about Jaheim Bell.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we've seen this dude.
For the Patriots, it is very much there is a lot of talent that is untapped. And if Mike Vrabel is able to tap into all that like potential that we see there, like Javon Baker that we talked about, if he's able to unleash Javon Baker, if he can unleash Kendrick Bourne, Jaheim Bell, Keon White even more, like this is going to be a
White's
scary
have his breakout year.
This is going
Mike
to
Vrabel being there.
Yeah, this is going to be a very scary Patriots team soon, if not immediately.
What's the over-under on Keon White sacks right now? Because I think he's going to have a breakout year. I think this is very dangerous that Mike Vrabel is his coach.
Yeah.
And that interview he had last year, let me see if I can bring it up for you guys. But the interview he had last year, he was not happy with how the situation is going. He was like, if there's no change, then what are we doing? We're not going to get better. I was like, yo, my boy. And Keon don't say too much, bro.
I can confirm. This dude does not talk much.
Yeah. He doesn't talk much.
He was serious as a heart attack when he was saying all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Okay, I found it. Let me see if I can.
But it's
this. Okay, I got it up right here.
Yeah.
Let me pause that. This our guy Keon White. This dude was at the Senior Bowl reading a book. I'll never forget.
We ain't know.
We'll never forget, King. That's something that we don't do around here. We're not nerds.
We don't do that here.
All right, but listen to what Keon had to say.
Is there a realization, just given what the results are this year, that major changes are coming?
I mean, yeah, I hope so. If changes aren't made, then what are we doing? Again, the NFL is a production-based business, so if we're not doing anything to change our production, which is lost, what are we doing?
Yeah, Mike, I just want to share.
That is correct.
And so, you don't think he's fired up that Mike Vrabel is there?
It's not even like that's the politically correct answer. That's just what you want to hear from all your players.
I'm telling you right now, over under for Keon White, 11.5 sacks. Give me the over. Calling it right now. That's our bold prediction right here for the Patriots. I think they have an absolute superstar. And if you don't think Harold Landry being in the same room with that young man is not going to elevate his game, bro, they're going to be absolute killers on that defense. They're going to be a top 5 defense this year. I'm sorry. I was wrong about Christian Gonzalez. Everybody knows this. You can meme me, say whatever you want to say. It just sharpened my ability to be better at scouting corners, right? Because me and Sora and the rest of us sat up here and we all agreed, like, I don't see it.
We were very much like, it's a track star, didn't utilize his speed, and then it was just the first year,
gets
injury,
injured,
all that. But then the second year, and it came out, it's like, all right, now that we've had the full year and we can see it. Unironically, that injury probably was, I don't want to say a good thing to happen, but that injury gave him more time to learn and practice and study it. And when he showed it for the full year, it was, oh yeah, he definitely was not just sitting on the bench watching while he was injured.
So what we're saying, 9-8 is not a bad record for the Patriots. I think this is absolutely going to be phenomenal for them for where they're at, the moves that they made, having a guy like Mike Vrabel that comes in, not only a former Patriot, but one of those guys that at one point had an AFC number 1 seed team in the Titans with Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback at one point. And so
Tannehill, Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Even though Drake Maye is not the quarterback that he chose, it's the quarterback that he has right now. And to be honest, this is a make or break thing for Drake Maye. Like, you're either going to come in and perform, or Mike Vrabel's going to find somebody else that can do the job better.
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, we might be looking at a Trevor Lawrence 2.0 type situation with Drake Maye, where he's going to show flashes and they're going to pay him all this money and they're going to be stuck with him. But the one thing that can prevent this from happening is, just like he couldn't prevent the A.J. Brown trade from happening, but I bet you he can prevent the Drake Maye extension thing from happening if he doesn't perform the way that he's supposed to perform, especially with a talented team.
I could see very much it being another Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, where in the second round, Vrabel's going to get his guy. Yep. And then that third year for Drake Maye, it's like, you had the full year. This will be your first full year. If I don't like what I see, I'm drafting competition. And then you got then to show me.
Yep, for sure.